Jack and the Queen. Chapter 1.
Once upon a time, there was a young boy named Jack. He lived in a small village with his family. One day, Jack heard that the Queen was going to visit the village. He was very excited because he had never met a real queen before. The day of the Queen's visit, Jack woke up early to get ready. He put on his best clothes and went to the village square, where the Queen was supposed to arrive. When she arrived, Jack saw that she was very beautiful and regal. She was wearing a crown and a long dress. Jack was too shy to talk to the Queen, so he just watched her from a distance. But then, the Queen saw Jack and smiled at him. She walked over to him and asked, "What is your name, young man?" Jack was so surprised that the Queen was talking to him, he could hardly speak. He finally managed to say, "My name is Jack." The Queen then said, "I would like to take a walk with you, Jack. Show me your village." So Jack and the Queen walked around the village together. Jack showed her his house, his school, and the park where he liked to play. The Queen was very interested in everything and asked him lots of questions. After their walk around the village, the Queen and Jack returned to the village square.
Chapter 2.
The Queen noticed that Jack looked tired and suggested they have some tea together. Jack was thrilled and quickly agreed. The Queen's assistants set up a small table with a beautiful tablecloth and a pot of tea. They also brought out some sandwiches and cakes for them to enjoy. Jack had never had tea with a Queen before and he was very excited. As they sipped their tea and ate their sandwiches, the Queen asked Jack more about his life and his family. Jack told her about his parents and his little sister, and how they lived in the village. The Queen listened attentively and asked him many questions. Jack felt comfortable talking to her and he was impressed with her kindness and genuine interest in him. When they finished their tea, the Queen thanked Jack for showing her around. She said, "Jack, it was a pleasure to meet you today. You are a kind and thoughtful young man. I hope we will meet again someday." Jack thanked the Queen for her time, and for the tea, and he felt his heart fill with happiness. He felt very proud and happy that he had met the Queen. He would never forget the day he met her. After the Queen left, Jack's family and friends asked him about his meeting with the Queen. Jack told them everything. He was so happy to have met her and he would always remember the special tea they had together. From that day on, Jack felt a little bit more special because the Queen had taken the time to have tea with him.
Chapter 3.
After their tea together, Jack thought that he would never see the Queen again. But a few days later, he received a letter in the mail. On the envelope there was a stamp from London. The letter was from the Queen. She wrote that she had enjoyed their time together and that she would like to invite him to visit her in London. Jack was overjoyed at the invitation. He had never been to London before and he had always wanted to visit the city. He immediately wrote back to the Queen and thanked her for the invitation. He also asked his parents for permission to go, and they agreed. A few weeks later, Jack and his parents set off for London. When they arrived, they were greeted by one of the Queen's assistants, who took them to the palace. Jack was in awe as he walked through the palace's grand halls and saw all the beautiful paintings and sculptures. The Queen met them in the palace's grand drawing room. She greeted Jack with a big smile and a hug. She then gave him a tour of the palace and showed him around the palace gardens. Jack was amazed by the palace's history and beauty. After the tour, they had lunch together in the palace's dining room. The food was delicious, and Jack enjoyed every bite. The Queen asked him more about his life in the village and his family. Jack was happy to tell her all about it and he was so impressed with her kindness and interest in him. At the end of the day, the Queen said to Jack, "I'm glad you could visit me today, Jack. I had a wonderful time with you. I hope you will come back and visit me again sometime." Jack thanked the Queen for her kind words and for the invitation. He felt so special and privileged to have been invited to the palace and to have spent time with the Queen. He knew that this was an experience he would never forget. After his visit to the palace, Jack returned home to his village. He told his family and friends all about his amazing trip to London and how kind the Queen was to him. He couldn't stop thinking about his time at the palace and how much fun he had.
Chapter 4.
A few weeks later, Jack received another letter from the Queen. This time, the letter contained a ticket to an Adele concert in London. The Queen wrote that she knew how much Jack loved music and that she wanted to give him a special treat. Jack was ecstatic at the thought of seeing Adele in concert. He had always wanted to see her live and now he had the chance. He quickly wrote back to the Queen and thanked her for the ticket. He also thanked her for the wonderful time he had during his visit to London. The concert was amazing. Jack had the time of his life listening to Adele's powerful voice and singing along to her songs. After the concert, he wrote another letter to the Queen, thanking her again for the concert ticket and the wonderful memories he had. The Queen's kindness and generosity had made a big impact on Jack's life. He felt grateful for the opportunity to visit London and meet the Queen, and for the special concert experience. He would always remember this special time in his life and the kindness of the Queen. From that day on, Jack would tell everyone he met about his adventure with the Queen, and how she was kind and nice to him. And he always felt a little extra special, because he had met a real-life queen.